Always on your side. This is First Coast News at 5.
Breaking news happening all across the First Coast at 5. A 7-month-old is found dead inside of a car. That car parked outside of a motel. A live report just a minute away. Also, one person is dead, several others injured in an awful crash. We are live on the scene on San Jose Boulevard. And a statewide search for a missing child. Plus, storms once again rumbling across parts of the First Coast, dropping heavy rain. Also happening right now, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is on the scene investigating an undetermined death in Ortega Farms in that area. This is on 101st Street. We have a crew there on the scene. We'll bring you more details in just a moment.
And more breaking news right now out of Orange Park. Crews responding to the scene of a near drowning at an apartment complex off Wells Road. This is near Crossing Boulevard. A child is breathing, we're told, and at Orange Park Medical Center in stable condition. It's unknown the source of the water.
Right now, torrential rain in parts of the First Coast moving through the area.
On the left of your screen, that's a live look at the radar. On the right, travel along wet roadways at Jacksonville at this hour. We understand there is some standing water on I-95 and 295, so not the best driving conditions. Storm expert Tim Deegan joins us.
All right, a lot going on obviously for y'all, a lot going on meteorologically. We'll go quick to the radar in case you're making some plans.
Also breaking right now, one person has died, several others injured after a crash on San Jose Boulevard at El Ciento Boulevard. First Coast News anchor Jessica Clark is live tonight at the scene with more details. Jess?
Well, good evening. As you mentioned, we are at San Jose Boulevard. They are letting traffic go through at a very slow rate. And then you can see the crash right here on San Jose. It was a pickup truck versus a car. And there are 5 people who were involved total. One person in the car has died. The other 4 people have all been sent to the hospital. You can hear the thunder right now. You can see the rain. It was not raining when this crash took place earlier this afternoon when we heard about it around 3 o'clock or so. But you can see that with rush hour traffic and this particular situation, along with the rain, it can be very dangerous. We don't know who's at fault. That's all under investigation still, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. They are measuring, talking to witnesses about what happened, as well as directing traffic. Also telling folks, please wear your seatbelts. They do save lives. Live in Jacksonville, Jessica Clark, First Coast News on your side.
Jessica, thank you. Now to the breaking news we're following tonight out of Southeast Georgia. A baby discovered dead inside of a car outside of a motel.
Now this is happening late this afternoon outside the Quality Inn Motel in Kingsland, Georgia. This is just off I-95. First Coast News reporter Lana Harris is at the scene and she is live on the phone right now. And Lana, tell us what you have found out about this.
Yeah, I actually spoke to a witness who says he tried to save the baby. He says he's active military and that he was about to get into the shower when he heard a lady screaming that a baby was choking. So he ran down. He was on the 2nd floor. He ran down into the parking lot to do CPR or Heimlich. When he got over there, he says the mother was holding the baby, crying hysterically. He says the baby was a male. He says that she kept screaming, "Save my baby, save my baby." He tore the onesie off. He says that blood was coming out of the baby's nose, that he tried to do infant CPR. He had training in that. He says he checked for the pulse. He also says the baby felt very hot, and he thought it might have been hyperthermia. He says he also felt the baby had already passed, but he just kept going because, his mom was right there, and he just didn't want to stop trying. And he says he just kept going until deputies showed up. Kingsland police officers have confirmed this is an infant death investigation and says that GBI has been asked to assist with this investigation. So we're going to keep you updated with any more information as we get it. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Lana. And breaking news out of Gainesville tonight. FDLE is looking for a missing 3-week-old baby. Jace Jenkins went missing Sunday near Southwest 13th Street in Gainesville. He might be in the company of 37-year-old Allison Jenkins. Jenkins is 5'3", has brown hair and blue eyes. So if you've seen either the baby or Jenkins, either one of them, please call police or call 911. And developing right now, JSO is investigating after a woman was found dead inside a home off Mossbrook Court this afternoon. Now, according to police, the woman was found in a pool of blood. First Coast News reporter Hani Rodriguez joins us live from the scene with more details on this investigation and what neighbors are saying tonight. Hani?
Hey, Jeannie. Well, police were called out to this home here behind me at around 9:15 in the morning, and they are still here. They have been here for hours. We saw about 6 or so detectives in the home as well. Several of those people have already left the scene, but as you can see, crime scene vans are still here. And earlier today, you could also see some of that more movement, detectives in and out of that home. Now, I was able to speak with the ex-daughter-in-law of the victim inside the home. She told me she was actually found by her ex-husband's girlfriend, and apparently she was stabbed to death. Now, she ran to a neighbor who called for help, and that is when police were called out to the scene. At this point, the family is not willing to release the name because all family members have not been notified yet, as well as police. In fact, the woman's son is still not been located, and her car is still missing. Now, I spoke to a neighbor in the area who told me this is typically a pretty quiet neighborhood.
It definitely is a shock, and it's just, you can't imagine. I hope they find out the story behind her death, and to me, I don't know, I hope it wasn't a robbery or anything.
Now, this incident is still under investigation. We'll be sure to bring you the latest details once we have more information. For now, reporting live, I'm Hani Rodriguez, First Coast News, on your side.
The man at the center of a standoff in the Sandalwood area last Friday is now charged with murdering his own wife. Tonight, 45-year-old Gerard Stewart is in jail after police say he stabbed his wife Julie to death, hid her in the trunk of their car, and then tried to kill himself. He was Baker acted Friday and officially in police custody this morning for his first court appearance. First Coast News reporter Crystal Bailey is live tonight outside of the jail. Crystal?
Well, that's right. Julie Stewart filed for divorce in April, and just days before her death, she actually filed the most recent of that paperwork. The couple was married for about 20 years. They had a 9-year-old son. That son now left without a mother and a father, facing charges of tampering with evidence and, of course, murder.
I was going to play with him at 3, and that's like when it happened.
Cops swarming Cavalry Boulevard, where the standoff lasted hours on Friday.
I've never heard the parents argue or fight. They seem like a really healthy family.
Most neighbors saying something along those lines, surprised to hear Gerard Stewart confessed to murdering his wife. Cleon Farrow, a friend of their 9-year-old son, says he's been passing by the house to see if he can find him.
I wanted to talk to him and see if he's okay and if he's going to go to my school next year.
Neighbors say Julie Stewart was a generous woman.
She would take me places like Adventure Landing and stuff.
And Gerard Stewart is in jail with no bond. His next court appearance is July 11th. Reporting live from JSO, Crystal Bailey, First Coast News, on your side.
Such a sad story, Crystal. Thank you. And there's no evidence of previous domestic violence in this case. But I want to take a moment to remind you that if you feel you're in a dangerous relationship, help is available. You can contact the Hubbard House. The number's right there at the bottom of your screen. We also have that number for you in this story. Just head to firstcoastnews.com. A crash shut down the westbound lanes on the Matthews Bridge for a short time this afternoon. You're taking a look at video of the accident from the eastbound side of the bridge. No reports of any major injuries as a result of that accident.
And we are watching your money tonight. The Dow finished down more than 280 points today. This as trade war fears continue to grow with China over those proposed tariffs. We will keep an eye on the stock market over the next couple of days for you. The man accused of stabbing a complete stranger and then just running away has pleaded not guilty. James Jackson faces aggravated battery charges after police say he stabbed a man outside Birdie's in 5 Points in Riverside. Jason White was the victim in this case. He suffered severe stab wounds to his kidneys and his liver. Jackson's next pretrial date is July 17th. Well, Parsons Christian Academy is moving into the old Arlington Country Day School campus, but they're tasked with fixing up the place. The school was left in bad condition back in January when it closed. Even personal files were left behind with social security numbers and birth certificates. So administrators at Parsons Christian Academy are asking for volunteers to help. So if you have skills that can help them put the school back together, you are very welcome to help. They are trying to reopen this fall for the early fall semester. Well, a second victim is speaking out after falling from a roller coaster in Daytona Beach last week.
Falling more than 30 feet. You're going to hear her emotional story about that scary ordeal next.